Okay. Testing mic volume 1. Testing, testing. There we go. Okay. It will be starting soon. Chat, don't worry about it. Starting soon, guys. Don't worry. Hopefully starting soon, y'all. Just waiting for Paul. Okay. Okay, folks. Well, this is an interesting start to the podcast, but welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Crossover Podcast. My name's David. Paul is going to be here at some point. I'm not 100% certain when he's kind of running late. A little bit delayed at the moment, but it's all good. I will stall for, well, not really stall for time. I'm starting the podcast because, unfortunately, I got to wrap this up probably by like 11:15 because I got some other stuff I got to get to, including letting the dogs out and a few other things as well. So, play-in stage is in full effect. We have officially begun Worlds. It is the best time at League of Legends of the year. It is hype. I will say, before diving into groups, and specifically going down that route of things, there is an element that is definitely still missing to a certain extent with Worlds due to the fact that there is no crowd. Even though everything is overall fantastic, the production is great, the setup is very similar to MSI, which not necessarily a problem. I wish they would have faced each other like they did last year, but they had a lot more time to prep for last year to a certain extent than they did this year. with that said, can't really complain, but it definitely feels like it takes away a little bit for sure. And I mean, we knew this last year, but like having it the second year in a row now without the crowds present is just kind of tough. And there's nothing you can really do about it. It just kind of is what it is. But next year, hopefully, we'll be able to live life to the fullest. And I really do hope we get like a full world, full audience, full everything else that we can truly experience everything. But with that said, it has been a very entertaining world so far. It's not like any of the games have been like super close or super contested. All things considered, for the most part, games are close until about the midway point of the game, and then one team just typically takes over. At least for now, there's really been no back and forth for the most part. There haven't been any upsets either for the most part. I mean, like your lower seeded teams have kind of swapped around. Like, I'm gonna butcher their name again, but I want to say Galatasaray, but I know it's not close. I forget. Nevertheless, they were surprising on the first day going 2-0, but they kind of came back down to earth today. LNG on top of Group A. Hanwha Life second. Hanwha Life showing a little bit of crack in the armor. But, I mean, all of this, to a certain extent, was expected. This was if you've been following the game for a bit, you've probably predicted almost this exact outcome. Or at least something very, very similar to it. So it's like, it's not that there's any big upsets. It's like, last year, most notably, Mad Lions faltered heavily. And they didn't even make it out. They made it out of the group stage, but they were knocked out during the bracket stage of play-ins. There's really I don't see any chance that Hanwha Life gets knocked out in the bracket stage currently. They're playing well enough to the point where I don't think they'll get challenged all that much. LNG and Cloud9, I fully expect to make it out and win their games tomorrow against both of the completely winless teams in their specific bracket or specific thing. So it's really nothing too much of a surprise there. I don't know who's going to make it out of Group B as the second team. There's really no structure to it at all. Like, you could say, not Red Canids, but, 11 o'clock. Give me 1 second. So this is going to be a full solo podcast. It is going to be a little bit shorter, but I will go on one of my little mini rants towards the end. But yeah, there's really no way that I think anybody in Group B stands a shot, realistically, once they get slotted into Group C. I can't really think of, or not Group C. They'd be Group B, sorry. They'd be with 100 Thieves. Who else in 100 Thieves? It's 100 Thieves, EDG, and SKT, or T1. Really, it's like, I don't really see anything changing in that regard. However, I will say, and now we're getting to the Hopium section of this, as Slasher has most notably pointed out, I truly do think that Cloud9 stands a chance, not of getting out of Group A, but at least of causing some upsets. And here's one very notable statistic that I don't think many people think about. Cloud9 has never gone undefeated in play-in stage, in the group play portion of it, and not made it out of groups. Ever. So, if you're using historical reference for anything, that means if Cloud9 wins their game tomorrow, they're guaranteed to get out of groups. Now, I'm not saying that is automatically going to happen. That's Hopium talking to a certain extent, because they are in the same group as FPX and Damwon. However, they were also notably in the group of death in 2018. They should not have gotten out, yet somehow, some way, they did, against the defending Korean champions, who were notably weaker, though, I will say. RNG, the top team out of China at the time. The top viewed team out of China. And then Vitality, and they found a way out. So I'm not saying that Cloud9's 100% getting out of groups, but I am going to say that I am going to pick it in my pick'ems because I don't think many people are going to do so, and that would make me a freaking genius if it did. Perks has been playing phenomenally well. Fudge has been insane in the top lane. Fudge on an international scale has been absolutely nuts. I agree with you, Slasher, entirely. Like this is now 2 straight international tournaments where Fudge has clearly stepped up to the plate and performed insanely well. And I know it's only play-ins. I know it's against arguably weaker opponents. But at the end of the day, that's what we said about Worlds about MSI to a certain extent when Cloud9 came from play-ins there. So it's like, or no, did they come from play-ins? Hang on. MSI 2021. I don't think they came from play-ins, if I'm not mistaken. It was China, Europe, and Korea that automatically slotted in. Wait, is this right? Is that really how we did it? Oh yeah, so they went 4-2, notably beating losing games to Detonation Focus Me, and they lost a game to Damwon Kia, but also won a game off of Damwon Kia. And then notably in the group stage itself, they went 0-2 against Damwon, which sucked, but they went 1-1 against Mad Lions. They went 1-1 against RNG. Like, anybody saying that Cloud9 can't take games in this group is out of their goddamn minds. They clearly can, and they will. It's just a matter of how many. Can they go on a run, and can they get it done? Personally, I'm buying into the Hopium. I really, like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's the same thing with the Super Bowl where you don't bet against a team that has a retiring player. You literally can't because the storyline's just great. So it's like, I don't know. That's where I stand on it. And I apologize. I do need to take a very short break. I will note that in the timestamps as well of when to skip up to next, but I will be right back. Give me 1 second. I apologize. And we're back. I truly do apologize for having to dip out when you guys were there. I had to take a phone call. What? Again, wife is on tour, so kind of is what it is. Just reading through some of the comments. Group B is making a huge surge to the unknown realm, and it's a real show to see who is going to end up in the spots that remain. Well, I somewhat agree. I think Cloud9 is clearly in a division of their own, and we won't. Luckily, because of the format, we will not have to see them play groups of, or a best of 5, which is good. Gives them time to properly prep for the group stage, get ready for their matchups against some of the top teams. And as Sven said in their interviews, they're not playing some of the top teams in scrims. So what that'll do is that'll give them a chance to possibly face up against one of the mid-tier teams and see how they stack up. And maybe earn some respect, at least enough to the point where teams in the top caliber will actually scrim them. Unpopular opinion, the World Secret Chair Labs hit way different in white than they did last year. 1,000%. I love the white aesthetic of this year. It really does look good. I know a lot of people were going to bitch and say, like, oh, but dark mode. What happened with dark mode? Like, it's blinding on the eyes. Too bad. I'm sorry. But I really, really like what I'm seeing on stage and visually, without question. But yeah. Look, when it comes to pick'ems, because I will not have time, or by the time we film this podcast next week, which let me just pull up the world schedule. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, group stage starts on Monday. So we will not be able to talk about this further beyond what we are already saying here. So I will give you my group's pick'ems based on what I'm seeing here, because this is going to be the one chance that I get. I'll save Group A for last. I'll just start with Group D. Worlds groups. So, starting with Group D, assuming that the team that slots in there is going to be LNG, I'm going to say Mad Lions cleanly gets out first. I'm going to say that, it's going to be an unpopular opinion. I think Team Liquid can find a way to get second, LNG third, Gen G fourth. That's my take on it. Group C. I think Fnatic first. No, I think RNG first. I think Fnatic second. I think PSG Talon third. And Hanwha Life fourth. I think Hanwha Life finishes last in that particular group. I'm going to say for Group B, am I really riding the Hopium this hard? Wow. Every time I do this, it doesn't work out. But then again, there's a world where I see 100 Thieves making it out. If they play well enough. I can't pick it, though. Oh, this sucks. This really sucks. Because it's like, I want to show favoritism so bad and put them out. But if I'm putting my analyst hat on, fuck it. No. I'm riding the NA Hopium hard. EDG first, 100 Thieves second, T1 third. Play-in team fourth. Leaving Group A. I just said earlier, and I maintain this thought to a certain extent, Cloud9 has never missed knockout stage when they've gone undefeated in play-ins. Never. Let me vet 2019 Worlds, because Clutch also was in group stage in 2019, and that was the first year that we ever missed. Clutch most notably lost 0-2 to Unicorns of Love. So historically, every time that Cloud9 has ever been undefeated in play-in knockout stage, that means that they have gone on to make it out of groups. By default, because I'm not betting against that logic, Cloud9 is going to make it out of Group A. If I had to pick a team that I think is volatile enough to lose enough games, I'm going to say it's Damwon. I don't think they're as good as they were at MSI, let alone Worlds last year. So I'm going to say FPX first, Cloud9 second, Damwon third, Damwon notably missing knockout stage, and Rogue fourth. Look, I know it's Hopium, but I'm not arguing against my logic. Cloud9 has never missed knockout stage after going undefeated in Worlds play-ins. And let me just vet my source again, just to make sure. 2018 Worlds. In 2018 Worlds, Cloud9 went 4-0. In 2017 Worlds, I mean, they never missed. Prior to 2018, they literally never didn't make it out from play-ins. 2017, 4-0. So in 2017, Cloud9 goes 4-0 in play-in stage, makes it to quarterfinals. In 2018, Cloud9 goes 4-0 in play-in stage, and makes it to semifinals. Cloud9 is about to go 4-0 again in play-in stage. They are making it out of groups, and Damwon is missing. It's a bold prediction, but history repeats itself, and I'm going to stick with it, because screw it, why not? Boom. Flame me all you want. I'm clipping this. I'm putting it on TikTok tomorrow. The Hopium's going to be real. If Cloud9 just has to win the game, they win their game, they don't make it to knockout stage. That's all there is to it. Simple as that. Slasher, I'll give you one more chance. You got one more question for me. I'm going to close this out at 11, so I'm down to talk about anything for 8 more minutes. By default, I would have 3 teams from North America out of groups. I don't give a shit if the Hopium is real or whether I'm jaded. I don't care. I'm doing it. I'll look like an idiot, but I also look like a mad genius if for some reason it ends up being correct, because you never goddamn know. I am curious to see, though, how group stage goes. 8 games in one day is going to be interesting. The biggest wild card in the entire tournament that will surprise you if they won. Assuming that has to be somebody that I think stands a chance and can actually win it, but would also surprise me, would actually be T1. T1 would shock me if they won it all. There's a clear path where they could do it. I just don't see it happening. It would legitimately shock me if T1 made it even to semifinals. But it's also Faker at Worlds, so you know how that goes. No, Coco, no. No, oh, that's my chapstick. Son of a bitch. Okay, well, on that note, oh, son of a biscuit. Dog stealing my chapstick. Galatasaray, yeah. I mean, they would surprise me too, but I just don't see it happening, so I really don't. Yeah. Sorry to cut this podcast short for you guys. I know it's a really, really short one, but Playins is halfway done, and Paul was not able to make it tonight. We will be back with your normally... No, your breath tastes like lip balm. We will be back with our normally scheduled programming at our normal time next Wednesday. Until then, thank you all for tuning in. and catch you on the next one. And a Hopium is in its fullest. Let's go.